Letting go is one of the 7 mindfulness principles. Today, we'll incorporate it into our breathwork practice by filling up our lungs to the fullest of their capacity, then letting go in small ways. I've learned that when I'm in a sense of panic or feel under pressure, that's exactly when I need to let go. When I feel overwhelmed by demands or the pressure to do more than I'm capable of doing at the moment, if I'm present with myself, some small thing that can be let go of will reveal itself to me, and then I can create more space for peace. The breathwork we'll practice today serves as a reminder by mirroring that sensation of physically feeling filled to the brim with stuff. And then we'll use the breath to present an opportunity to release and create more space for peace. We'll also be moving the body in simple ways that encourage deeper breaths by opening up areas in the body surrounding the lungs. And finally, we'll practice mindfulness focused on releasing tension in our body. So let's start with a chest stretch with the hands behind the back. Now, I like to do this sitting on my knees, and I might even fold the mat underneath. And then sit back comfortably on my heels. Begin to bring the hands behind the back, bound together. Roll the shoulders back and down, pinching in together. Let the hands rest on the floor just for a moment and naturally feel the chest begin to open here. Take a deep breath into the chest, expanding that area. And slowly let it out however you like. Inhale, feel the chest swell up. And exhale how you like. This next inhale will begin to have a deeper stretch in the chest. So again, pinching the shoulders in together. Inhale into the chest and begin to lift the hands off the ground. And as you exhale, you can place the hands back down on the ground and begin to curl forward, resting your head down. And let the hands naturally fall forward. Inhale, lift yourself up. Try and keep the hands bound. Rest the hands on the ground behind you. Inhale, let the air swell into the chest. Lift the hands off the ground. Actively stretching here. Exhale, place the hands down. And curl it in. Let the hands fall forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, release. And roll the shoulders out. Take any movements that feel good for you. Continuing to stay on your knees if you're there. If you're not there, start in a tabletop position. Bring the toes together and just shift your knees out wide and sit back on your heels. We're going to enter into child's pose. This will help to open up the back body. Majority of our lungs really inflates in the back body, so it'll be nice to feel that experience as we open up. Place the hands down in front of you and exhale, slowly slide them forward. And rest the head down on the ground. I like to close my eyes just to really get an intimate moment. Taking a deep breath, breathing in, filling up the back body, let that area swell. I encourage you to hold there just for a brief moment and exhale, let it out however you like. 2 more breaths just like that on your own time. taking a moment to just continue to rest here and take in this position of surrender that reminds us to let go. As you inhale, begin to curl it up onto all fours. And exhale, neutral spine. Sweep the feet to the side and sit back on your seat. Now we'll begin the breathwork portion of our practice. In yoga, we call breathwork pranayama. Today's pranayama is called Dirgha Pranayama. In English, we might call this the complete breath because we completely expand our lungs to their fullest capacity, helping to encourage efficiency in deep breathing. So let's get started. First, find a comfortable position, seated upright. We're gonna start upright and then we'll start to lay down at the end. It'll be a nice, sweet treat. But we're gonna start in a seated position. And if it helps you to sit with your back against the wall, please know that you can do that. We're gonna start by finding our focus first. If you can, allow your focus visually to fall on the ground right in front of you. And if you feel comfortable enough, you can start to close your eyes. As you tune into the sound of my voice, begin to place one hand at the navel, finding your navel with one of your fingers, and then placing the palm of the hand directly underneath the navel. So we're at the lower portion of our belly. You can place both hands here and observe the breath without changing anything about the way you're breathing, just observing and being present with yourself as you breathe, being present with your body. Can you feel the breath reaching down to the depths of your torso here? Now we'll start to breathe with a little more intention. First, imagining this area beneath your hands rising as you inhale deeply and falling softly as you exhale. Inhale deeply. Focus on dragging the breath down deep into this area of your body. Exhale it out. And you may or may not be able to reach down this far. However, it's the working toward the intention of taking a deeper breath that really counts. So we'll breathe in once more, filling this area up, and exhale, deciding to let go, breathing out from deep below. The reason we start at the very bottom is because our diaphragm reaches down deep. The deeper it goes, the more air or oxygen we can intake, the more our lungs can inflate. As you take one easy breath, without much struggle, without much force, just allowing it to happen. Allow the shoulders to relax and regain your posture as you lengthen your spine and lift your chest, centering your head. Keep one hand connected down deep, down low, below your navel, and place the other just above your belly button. without changing anything, just observing the body as it responds to the inhale. And just watching, being present for what it does on exhale. Begin to place your hands at the sides of your waist, around where your ribs are. And as you're sitting up tall, now observe the breath as you breathe in and out. Notice how the lungs and the rib cage inflate and extend out to the sides, and how they collect themselves to return back to the center, always coming inward. Take an intentional breath here. Breathe in. Really fill up the lungs, envision them expanding out to the side. Exhale, bring it all together as we release and let go. We'll bring one hand back to the bottom and place the other hand above the navel. And now we'll practice bringing the breath from the bottom hand and traveling all the way to the top hand. Inhale deep, low into the low belly. Let the breath travel up to the torso. Exhale from the belly down to the low belly. It might help to imagine a wave. Inhale, the wave starts at the bottom and it lifts all the way to the top hand. Exhale, top hand, that area starts to fall first. Then release from the low belly. Once more, inhale, low belly, sitting up tall as we inhale, above the navel to the lungs. Exhale from the lungs to the low belly. Now we'll place one of our hands to the center of our chest, around where the heart area is, and just take a moment to connect with the warmth there. You've been slowly filling up, slowly taking on more, and that's really how it goes in our daily lives. First it's a trickle, and then it's a whole river. And then we feel swamped, we feel stuck, we feel overwhelmed, and like we start to panic because we feel that there's no way out. When, something as simple as taking a deep breath can be your exit strategy towards peace. So let's go ahead. I know that might sound corny, I know, but hear me out as we experience this and put it all together. So one hand down low somewhere, the other hand rests up top. And we're connecting to the warmth at the center of our chest. First, just watching the rise and fall as we breathe in, really feeling for the lift and the drop in the chest. We'll inhale deep first, into the lungs, then into the chest. Filling all the way up, and we'll exhale, relax the shoulders. Exhale from the chest, down to the lungs, down into the low belly. Emptying it all out, releasing it all. Inhale, low belly, lungs. Fill up the chest. Sit up tall. Exhale, shoulders go down, chest goes down, belly goes down, and all the way down to the bottom. Inhale. Looking for that wave sensation, one at a time, filling all the way up. Exhale, relax. All the way down, emptying out. This last time we'll inhale. And as you get to your fullest capacity, filling the chest all the way at the top, all the way to the collarbones, hold that breath for a moment. And you might acknowledge a sense of panic, but we're gonna exhale, slowly decide to let go, bit by bit, piece by piece. Place your hands somewhere just to rest, and if you'd like to reposition for a moment, find a new position, and take a moment to just reflect. Reflect on the quality of your breath now as you're breathing normally. Take a couple of movements or stretches of your own choice. And then join me in a laying down position. So we're gonna add a little bit of movement back into our practice. So join me on your back. Legs stretched all the way out. Go ahead and separate the legs out wide, arms over your head like a star, and just relax. Let everything go. Breathing in fully. Exhale through the mouth. Feel yourself emptying out. And now we'll take the left leg and we'll cross it over to the right side. So you're gonna hook it onto that right ankle. And you're gonna take the left arm, and that hand is gonna grab onto the right hand or the right wrist as best as you can. We're doing what I call a banana stretch with my kids in kids yoga. But we're gonna start to lean to the side. You might stay just like this and feel the side body open up in a more passive stretch here, and that's completely fine. Or you might decide to lean a little bit more to the right side, breathing into that left lung, no matter where you are. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale once more. Let it go. And then we'll come back to that star position. And exhale it out, sigh it out. We'll let the full weight of our body just sink into the ground. Savor this moment just for a second. It feels so nice for me. Actually recording this at the end of a work day, so it feels so great to just let it all go. Let's now take the right leg and hook that ankle onto the left side. And I can already feel a difference in the sides. I can already feel a stretch here at the lower half of my body. We're gonna take the right arm and hook it onto the left wrist or the left hand. And I might decide to stay just as I am, or you might decide to lean over to the left a little bit more. Wherever you are, we are breathing into the right lung. Let it float upwards and outwards. Really emphasizing the side body stretch. Exhale. Two more on your own. Exhale. Inhale. Let it out. I'm gonna stay here and get a little extra juice out of my stretch. And I'm gonna start it back out. Big breath in, sigh it out. Let the body settle into the ground. We'll now begin to do a supine stretch. So you're gonna bend your knees and place your feet flat on the ground. Bring your legs all the way together. You're gonna make 2 L's with your arms. And sometimes we might say cactus your arms, but basically what that means is it's like a field goal. You're gonna make 2 L's with your arms and have the shoulders in line with the elbow. Or rather, the elbow in line with the shoulder as best as you can. Use your best judgment here. Okay, and now we're going to shift the hips over to the left. So I'm gonna use my feet to press into the ground and just, a centimeter off the floor. I'm gonna lift my hips up and place them over to the left side. You should start to feel a natural pull or a leaning, and you're gonna just let your legs, keeping the knees as stacked as possible, fall over to the right side. If you're lucky, you're gonna get a crack like I just did. The goal here is to keep the left shoulder that's on this side glued to the ground as best as you can. Now you can have your elbows bent like this, or you can decide to just tee out your arms. I think a tee feels a bit more safe for me today, so that's where I'm gonna lay. Again, the goal here is to have the knees stack over one another, because that's going to allow, the spine to align the way it needs to in this twist. And if you're lucky, like I said, you might get that satisfying crack. You can place the right hand down across the thighs and gently use that pressure, that natural gravity, to keep the legs aligned. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Just fall back into the ground, leaning back to the left. The upper shoulders leaning back to the left. Once more, inhale. And exhale, let it go. One of the more passive twists. Tee your arms back out. And you're gonna tighten your core here. Inhale, engage the core muscles, and use that to bring the legs back to center. Now we're gonna press the feet into the ground and do the other side. So press the feet into the ground to lift the hips off the ground about a centimeter, and bump your hips out to the right. Drop the knees down to the left. Let's see if we get a crack. Oh, we got a mini crack, that's okay. Oh, that was a little disappointing, but that's all right. The sides aren't always the same. So you can lay here with your arms teed out like I am. You can cactus your arms. I like to close my eyes here. But either way, I'm really working the right shoulder now to keep that pressed into the ground. That's gonna continue to have that twisting action as the upper body is leaning over to the right and the bottom half of the body is leaning over to the left. So we're trying to let gravity just kind of do the work here with a little active assist. You can place the left hand over top of the thighs and the legs, just to keep everything in check, keeping those knees glued together as best as we can. Take a deep breath in, exhale, relax. One more on your own. And relax. All right. We're gonna come back to the center and extend the legs out long. Position one hand at the low belly and one hand at the heart as we practice our full round of Dirgha Pranayama. We're gonna take 10 breaths together and, excuse me, just try to follow along as best as you can. If at any moment you feel too overwhelmed or it becomes too challenging and the breath is no longer smooth like a wave, please just take a break. It's okay to just take a break and be with the body. So we have one hand down low somewhere and one hand up high somewhere. Begin to find your focus with your gaze up at the ceiling, maybe directly above you. And if you feel comfortable enough, you can close your eyes. Breathing into the low belly first. Filling up the lungs into the chest. Exhale it all out, chest, lungs, low belly. That's one. Inhale, low belly, lungs up to the chest. That's two. Exhale, chest, lungs, low belly. Inhale up. Exhale down. I believe that's three. If not, we get an extra breath. Continue to inhale. And let it go. Four. Breathing in, feeling a smooth sensation with the breath. Let it go. Piece by piece. Five, halfway there. Breathe in. Filling our way all the way to the top. Hold it here. Exhale, chest, belly, low belly. Six. Breathing in. Let it out. Seven. In. Breathe it out. Piece by piece, one part at a time. 8. 2 more, breathe in. Let it out. Let it go. And before we take this last breath together, I want you to think of something in particular that you can let go of to create more peace in this moment. It might be a thought, it might be a belief, it might even be a distraction. Breathe it in. Fill yourself all the way up and hold it at the top. Let it out. Empty it all out. Continue to breathe normally. And just stay with the body. Taking in any emotions you might be feeling. Any differences you may notice. And when you're ready, place your hands down by your sides. We'll end our practice with squeeze and release. It's a way to rhythmically squeeze your muscles as we tend to hold on to things emotionally or mentally. That tension and that stress shows up in our bodies. But again, letting go is a conscious decision. You have to make that decision on purpose. So we'll start nice and easy with just the hands, balling up the hands into a tight fist. Inhale. And exhale, decide to let go, decide to soften, decide to open up. Inhale, curl up the hands. This time we're gonna curl up, rise the shoulders up to the ears, breathe in. Try and work on just squeezing these parts of the body. Exhale, bring the shoulders down. Open up the hands. Inhale, squeeze the hands. Squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the eyelids shut. When we're stressed or when we're panicked, when we're overwhelmed with emotion, this is often what position we might take, but breathe out, relax the eyes, relax the shoulders, decide to open up the hands and let go. Breathe in, squeeze the hands, squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the eyes, and we're gonna curl the toes too. Exhale, release the toes, release the shoulders, release the eyes, release the hands. Release the jaw. Inhale, squeeze the hands, squeeze the shoulders, eyes, curl the toes, and squeeze all the muscles in your body, your arms, your legs. Exhale, release all at once. You deserve the softness that letting go offers you. You deserve the peace that comes with letting go. Take one more big breath in. Know that you can stay here as long as you need. If you'd like to join me in returning back, begin to deepen the breath and sighing it out softly, quietly. Begin to bring small movements back to the body, the shoulders, the hips, the legs. And then rest in a final moment of stillness. Begin to stretch the arms over the head, keeping the eyes closed. And exhale, bring the hands back down by the sides, returning to rest. You may open your eyes and focus on one thing first. Bring your position to a seated one and join me here. You can bring the hands together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in, lifting up through the spine. And exhale, we bow. Namaste.